Welcome to Two Birds, One Stone, episode 9. Today we're gonna preview the 49ers. We're gonna talk about Kyler possibly playing, possibly not playing.
Hopefully.
Hopkins little banged up. We got some injuries around. We got some guys coming back. Lots of things to talk about since the last time we spoke. Am I missing anything that happened?
Wait, you said Kyler's a little dinged up.
Tyler's a little dinged
Hopkins.
up. We've got the Niners coming up.
No, I think
But
that's it, man. So yeah, with the Niners, the thing you gotta watch
Cardinals
out
finally
for.
lost. The Cardinals lost a game for the first time since the origin of this podcast. The Cardinals lost a football game. We had talked pretty extensively over the past few weeks about
Yeah.
how we had forgotten what it felt like to lose. I remember
Hey,
now.
hey, fans, your boy's hungover. I ain't drunk no more. I'm hungover. You know,
I
it's
recall
tough.
the feeling, and it sucks.
Tough. I don't even know if I haven't given myself time to kind of process it. I don't think I ever will.
It's been a
It's
full
kinda,
week. It's Thursday night, guys. we should have processed it by now, but
yeah, it's almost like it didn't happen. I almost see it as like a win still, kind of, which that's how far gone I was into
what
the
happened?
win. That is
They
not what
didn't
happened.
win.
They lost for sure. But like the way I was thinking of it was like, man, that just proved how good Kyler was. He drove him all the way down the field and he put the ball exactly where it needed to be. And it was just a bonehead play by AJ Green. And that just proves what he can do and how good he is. He had an off night, but still he won the game. But then I watched the replay and it did not win.
We're not going to dive too deep because, I mean, what is there to really I mean, there's plenty to talk about. We're not saying that, but offense had a bad night. Hopkins gets hurt, re-aggravates the hamstring on like the Cardinals' first possession on the play he scores, but he didn't score off of an offensive face mask penalty that
was one of
never
the
see
coolest
called.
plays. One of the coolest plays
Sick.
I've ever seen by a receiver in my life.
Like juked him out while the ball was in the air.
A juke mid-air. Like the ball is fucking. I've never
beautiful.
seen that before.
It's a great play. Gets called back. Cardinals do score on that drive anyway, but that's besides the point. They take a 7-0 lead, and then the Packers just played. They did. I mean, the worst part about it is the Packers might have laid out the blueprint, however cliche and cheesy that is. The blueprint of beating the Cardinals is you run the ball and keep double our time of possessions by just slowly 3 yards in a cloud of dust up and down the field. Then Kyler can't get on the field, and we can't get momentum going.
And then that kind of goes with what my personal problem with the team has been this whole year, of the fact of not being able to stop the run that well. And I know we can do it.
Well, you're without JJ Watt,
right?
Which we'll talk about that in a minute. But you didn't have Corey Peters. Corey Peters is scheduled to come back this week against the Niners. We'll have a little bit more help, hopefully. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing there's the worst part about it, as we talked before, is we didn't lose because Aaron Rodgers just came out and threw for 404 touchdowns. And if that happens and you lose because Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, it's like, all right, just don't hang your head. We'll see him in the playoffs. We lost because our defense couldn't stop the run and our offense couldn't get anything going against a Green Bay defense that, I mean, they're above average, I guess, but we've played tougher teams than that on the defensive side of the ball, and we've put up 35 plus in the Rams and the Browns, and for some reason it didn't happen on Thursday night. It sucks.
Hey, not everybody goes 17-0, 18-0. I mean, it doesn't happen all the time for a reason. So you kind of just got to look at the positives and move on. We're going to heal up a little bit into this next coming week. Kind of how you said a little bit before. The JJ news stinks. That just sucks. He was having a really good year, and you really hate to see it, especially for a guy like him who's been so he's been really good on the field, but his off the field locker room stuff has been really good for the team. I feel
he might play.
Think so?
They haven't put him on IR yet.
Really?
He's seeking probably up to 20 opinions now from different doctors. The surgery is the last thing he wants to do, apparently.
Huh. Didn't know that.
That's interesting, is it not? I mean, How many more
knows.
years does JJ Watt have left?
Yeah,
You know,
he probably knows this is one of his best shots.
He's his best shot. Then do what you can to stay on the field.
Has he ever played in the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean the Texans had a couple good teams. Remember in the AFC divisional, the year the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Might have been the AFC. I think it was the AFC divisional.
Yeah, that was kind of Watson's coming out.
They were up like 24-0. The
Yeah.
Texans were on the Chiefs in that game, and then they
Yeah.
blew that lead. Hopkins,
right.
JJ, all those guys are there and everything. Yeah, I mean they had a couple good teams there. I think they probably won 12 games or something that year. But yeah, no, I mean, like I said, he hasn't been on IR yet. Maybe we see JJ Watt sooner than we thought. Like I said, Corey Peters is activated. That should help the front out against the run. The thing is that I'm possibly concerned about is Corey Peters was effective so far because he's an older guy. We weren't relying on him. He was spotting JJ. He was coming in fresh throughout the game, probably a little more on his shoulders now. We'll see how that goes. Offensive line wise, it seemed like in that Packers game, there was a lot of pressure up the middle, like even against the Texans was the same way. But we're getting Ronnie Hudson back, plug and play center. Your all pro guy is back, and Justin Murray is back. So Josh Jones, who has been struggling badly, false starts and holds and just getting beat.
Goodness,
and
just
Josh Jones
off the line,
which sucks because that's a guy. I remember when I'm such a nerd before that draft class going into that draft class. I have all my names picked out for who the Cardinals might take in the first round. If they stay at 8 when they took Isaiah Simmons or trade back or that, I had Josh Jones's name written as somebody. If they traded back, they take him in the first round. He was a steal pre-draft to land with us in the 3rd round. He played well his rookie year. He played okay at the beginning of the season. Something is off. I don't know if it's injuries or what, but let's get Justin Murray back in there as soon as possible. Josh Jones, go figure your shit out because it's been pretty ugly. Max Garcia, the same thing. Yeah. He's been eating a big old bag of shit the last couple of weeks. Not even just fucking bad snaps, like snaps over like that. You can't have that kind of stuff. So those things will hopefully be cleaned up in a game where AJ Green's got COVID coming up against the Niners. AJ Green has COVID. Hopkins still dealing with the hamstring. Kingsbury said it's not, don't quote me perfectly. The way he was talking was like he'd be surprised if Hopkins is out there. And then, like we said earlier, Kyler is also very questionable. It's Thursday tonight. He didn't practice Wednesday or Thursday. So it might be Colt McCoy time. How do we feel about that?
Not awesome. But I was going to say, but if you want to have your backup starting, you'd want it against the Niners, but that's not true. That's stupid.
No, it's a division game.
Yeah, you don't want that. I don't know. I think Kyler's going to play. I think
I still have that in the back of my head,
no matter what. I just the only way he won't is if you see like what we saw in the last game of last season where I feel Cliff and Steve Keim and Bidwell didn't want him to play. That's the only way he won't. I know he'll play, and I kind of feel the same way with Hopkins. Hopkins will play if he can play.
A hamstring's a little different. That's why I'm like a hamstring it could go like that. Like
right.
It's such a nagging little fucking thing. If Kyler was a it's just swelling. He's got a sprained ankle. If it's too swelled up, he can't go. I mean, if he's at 75% with a sprained ankle, he can stand in the pocket. I don't know.
I'd take a 60% Kyler Murray over Colt McCoy.
I would agree with that. Yeah. And like you said, we're getting pieces back on the offensive line. The defense played well against them the last go round, but that was with Trey Lance. Jimmy Garoppolo will be starting on Sunday. So it's a different look. I mean, I'm more scared of Trey Lance because of what he can do athletically. We've beaten Jimmy G before.
Jimmy G just looks who'd they play last week? I don't remember. I remember I think I bet against them and he looked good. Like he looked like he played good.
They won.
He looked comfortable.
The Bears, right?
Yes. He looked comfortable. No, did the Bears win? Yeah. The Niners won that game. He just looked comfortable and he looked like
33-22 Niners.
He didn't look like the however $100 million deal Jimmy G, but I feel like he looked better in the offense than what Trey Lance did.
He was 17 to 28, 322 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks, 100 quarterback rating. So he had a good game.
Yeah.
What I'm looking at their stats right now. Elijah Mitchell, 18 carries for 137 yards.
Yeah.
They're going to run the ball. They always do. So it doesn't matter if we have Colt McCoy, Kyler Murray, Peyton Manning, Johnny Unitas. If we can't stop the run, we're not going to win the game. So we did just well enough the first matchup with the help of some erratic passing by Trey Lance. That's why Jimmy G almost see. I don't know. I don't know which one I prefer to go against.
I'd rather have Trey Lance, just judging by how he looked in the first game we played against him. Jimmy G is just a lot more composed. I feel like if Trey Lance had a year or two underneath his belt in that game, it wouldn't have been so crazy. It would have been a little bit different story. I like Jimmy. I think it doesn't matter. We're playing against Jimmy G, so no need to talk about that. But it's going to be a prove it game, especially if Kyler doesn't play. Then it's it can be. If something were to go wrong, it could be attributed to the fact that Kyler's not playing, if Colt McCoy, whatever. I'm just excited to see the defense. Because I think they're a gritty bunch. You don't have JJ for the second week straight. Hopefully Peters can pick up some of the slack. I feel Marcus Golden is instead of his good season so far has been like, woohoo, cool. It's a little cherry on top.
Feel good.
But now it's going to be expected. Now it's going to be, you need to perform. I think he will.
Someone who hasn't performed, and I feel like kind of an idiot even saying it, Chandler Jones.
Yeah.
Where are you, buddy? Like, you had that huge week one, obviously the 5 sacks, none since then. And I know it's not all about sacks, but you watch the game and where's number 55?
I kind of thought he was still hurt. Like I thought he had COVID or something still.
Last week was his first week back. He was out against the Texans, but you watch. I mean, it's prime time Thursday night football. Everybody's watching. You didn't see anything about Chandler Jones on Twitter. You didn't hear his name on the broadcast. No. You didn't see anything. With JJ out, there's going to have to be some people stepping up. And now that this loss, it's finally been there is a loss in that column. My eyes are kind of like I'm letting myself see some of the flaws. But like I said, just run defense, and we're gonna have to find a way to apply pressure. Which I know JJ only had one sack, 2 sacks, whatever. But quarterback hits, quarterback hurries.
Him just being JJ providing Watt also was, and taking away so much attention from everybody, taking up so much attention rather from everybody else. I feel is more valuable than almost anything. A guy who I think has stepped up in these past couple weeks has been Zach Allen. I don't know if you've seen.
And he's going to have to. Yeah.
I feel like he's played well. He's always seems like he's just he kind of reminds me. He's around the ball. Reminds me of Marcus Golden a little bit too. He's always just at the ball. It seems like he always gets a big player too, and he just has a lot of hustle to him. I feel, which is a weird 45-year-old man gross thing to say, but I feel like he plays with
hustle. I have to find it. Dennis Gardeck came back. He played 5 snaps against the Packers.
Progress.
Number 1, he was credited with a QB hit and a quarterback pressure. Another snap, solo tackle for loss on a screen on the left side of the field. Third one, just short of a quarterback pressure. He was closing in on Rodgers as he let go of the ball. Fourth one, credited with a tackle assist. Fifth one, Green Bay had to delay a game and he came off the field. So that's his only every play he was on the field, he made something happen. I know they're trying to take it a little easy on him, but if he comes back fully healthy and the more and more he gets involved in the game plan, remember what you said about earlier about Marcus Golden being always a feel-good story, cherry on top. That's kind of what Dennis Gardeck has been really his career, not sliding him at all. Like it's just been, he's that gritty special teams guy that go and make a play every once in a while, and he does a funny dance. Okay, Dennis Gardeck, you're going to get playing time. This is your chance to move out of that feel-good story and be like a real like cog in the defense going forward for the rest of the season, especially if Watt doesn't end up coming back. But so I mentioned AJ Green had COVID. Probably didn't see that coming.
I didn't know. I thought he didn't know how to catch anything. I thought he couldn't catch it.
Do you think he saw it coming?
Oh,
Oh
hey,
my
hey,
God.
hey. Whoosh.
I was gonna say
That was good.
I've been
That's
sitting on
funny.
that one. We
Funny.
took a whole week to record, and I probably came up with that a couple days ago. Maybe I seen it
That's
on
funny.
Twitter. He didn't see
That's
that coming.
funny.
Like we
Stings,
talked
but
about
it's
how it sucked that it wasn't Aaron Rodgers that beat you. What sucked worse is that the Packers are sitting at our 1 yard line twice. They get it at the 1, time's moving, penalty knocks them back a little bit. They get back up to the 1, and we stop them when they could have just stumped on our heads there, and it would have been over. The pain would have been done. 31-21. It's a loss, whatever, move on. Defense, after not being able to stop the run most of the game, makes a stop. They get us the ball back. We have a chance to win with a little over 2 minutes to go. You got to go 99 yards, so it's still improbable, but we had a chance. And then it's Chase Edmonds barely gets out of the end zone on that safety, reaches the ball out on first down.
Probably, I think he was down actually, but
it was very close. I've seen some clips. I'm not looking at it too hard. Doesn't matter. But second play, quick slant to Christian Kirk, slips backwards, miscommunication. Murray thought he was running a hitch. Oh shoot, it's third down. The whole time I'm thinking there's going to be a holding in the end zone. It's going to be a safety. We're going to be fucked. 23-yard pass to AJ Green, moved the chains. Okay, well, we'll see. Another 20-something yard play. Oh shit, we're at midfield. Then Chase Edmonds catches that ball at his shoelaces, runs all the way across the field, gets us down to like the 15-yard line, and it's like, here we are. I'm all right. I'm all the way back. At that point, we're going to score. It's if we score a touchdown and with enough time to where Rodgers doesn't get the ball back. That's all I'm thinking at that point. To lose that way, that sucks. And that's why you're just now hearing this episode on Friday.
A little bit of a hiatus.
We needed a whole week to get over,
process it, internalize it, become emotionally available for you guys. It's a tough week, but we're still 7-1. We're still at the top of the NFC West. Now we just got to pray for injuries to heal.
Yeah. I'm not like, I still obviously you still feel good about your team. You're 7-1. It's just now it's okay. The whole time when we're undefeated and the Rams have that one loss behind you and that one loss is to us, you're like, okay, we're in good shape. Just because I don't know, I guess I'm an idiot. It's like, oh, we're never going to lose. Are you crazy? Well, and then you're also thinking the Rams are going to lose at some point. They don't. So now we're both at the same spot. We have the tiebreaker over them. But as of right now, I think the Rams have the toughest schedule out of any NFC West team the rest of the season. And the Cardinals have like the 24th easiest or hardest schedule in the league the rest of the way out. So ours gets a lot easier. Theirs gets a lot harder. I think ours, out of the one-loss teams, we have had the hardest schedule so far. So it's not like we're winning easy games. We've had a tough schedule up to this point.
We've been ran through the gauntlet for sure these past couple games, but how quick is the media to forget? You know, whenever you get that one loss, it's like we're at everybody's number one, and then you slide to 5 real damn quick.
I'll give ESPN credit. ESPN still had us at 2.
Really? Who's
one? I think Packers, which is fair. I mean, they were dealing with the Packers. Yeah. We'll talk about them. That was one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. Like, and that's obviously I'm overreacting because it's recency bias, but you're out your 3 best receivers. The way that LaFleur called that game where, we can't stop the run. It was just perfect management of the clock. They didn't hardly attempt passes 10 yards plus. When they did throw the ball, it was little quick screens to the left. They knew what to exploit in our defense. And aside from they threw the ball 4 straight times at our 1 yard line or something, like some dumbass thing when they were running the ball so well, that was kind of a head scratcher. But aside from that one sequence at the goal line, the Packers played a perfect game. And sometimes you just have to
say something that's a little interesting. I'm sure you've seen this all over Twitter and Instagram and all other social medias. Aaron Rodgers is now 7-0 without Devontae Adams playing.
Yeah.
Everyone says, yeah, he's the top 3 best wide receiver in the game. But something that I kind of thought about is Devontae Adams not being on the field. I feel like it almost sort of helps Packers offense in a way, because you know that they're going to go to him over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And whenever they don't have him on the field, then you don't have that predictability factor that I feel like would have helped out in a game like this, where they're going to get the ball to Devontae Adams, but without him being there, then they have to they do things that you don't normally see. I feel like that kind of attributes to them being 7-0 without him too.
I understand what you mean. Yeah, it's weird. It's hard to, like you said, he's a top 3 receiver in the league, so it's hard to ever say that they're a better team without him. It's just like you said, it's unpredictable, which in the NFL is, you can grind as much tape as you want, and it's all about getting the other team's tendencies down. Like when you're watching film, it's all just about, okay, what are they going to do in this situation with this amount of time on the clock and all this stuff. And it takes games, like amount of games watched in film, to be like, okay, to catch those tendencies. There's not as many games with the Adams out, so there's not as much film to watch. It's a little unpredictable. You never know. So I understand what you're saying, but my counterpoint is, we knew what they were going to do after at least the first quarter and a half. They were going to fucking run the ball, and we didn't make adjustments. So we lost the fucking game for the first time.
Over it.
And now our record prediction for the season is ruined.
Fans are slim and far few. How's that saying go? Few and far between. Few and far between fans. I almost said something crazy. I almost said I would give $100. I'm just going to say what I was going to say, but this is not what I'm actually saying. I was going to say I'm going to give $100 to any fan who DMs my Twitter a picture of someone with a record prediction of the Cardinals going 7-0. I want if someone could do that, I'll give them a shout out on Twitter. If someone could find a record prediction from a legit media personality, well, you're not verified. Well, you're not a legit.
I wouldn't count. Yeah, I'm not legit.
A verified media personality. If you can bring me a snippet of them having the Cardinals going 7-0, then you'll get a shout out on my Twitter.
You might as well just say $100 because there's nobody out there.
I'm not saying that. Are you saying that?
No, I wouldn't say that. I'm broke because I didn't hit my bet this week. So there's a transition.
It's a tough week for you.
Oh, by the way, no 2 birds, 1 stone player of the week. We don't reward losers. We don't praise losers. They lost. Yep. No player of the week. You have a problem with that?
Participation trophy.
There should be no problem with that. I think we all are in agreement. Plus, I kind of looked at the numbers. I have no idea who it would even go to. It wasn't a terrible game, but nobody stood out to me, and that's honesty.
Yeah, no one deserves it and lost. This isn't candy ass. This is not that. So let's get into our bets of the week.
Yes.
You can go ahead and go first if you'd like.
Okay. See if I can find them.
I'll go first and have them up.
I was gonna say, go ahead.
So my first bet of the week, I think I did 3 different parlays, all money line like I usually do. I had the Panthers, Lions, and Titans 20 to win 210. Obviously, the Lions are junk.
Betting on the Lions, dude. It's the second time.
I'm betting on bad teams. I bet on the Jets whenever they played the Patriots, and then they beat the Bengals.
Patriots won like 55-14 or something.
But the Jets won this past week. So if I was smart, I'd bet on the Lions this next week.
Sure.
Okay.
That's what a smart person would do.
Right. So the next one I had was the Bears, the Steelers, and the Jags. The Bears obviously lost, and after that happened, I didn't pay attention to the Jags game. So that one lost, and then I had
played the Dolphins.
The the Jags. Jags played the Seahawks.
Oh, whoops.
So then I had the Chargers -4, Titans +3, Washington money line, and Tampa -4.5. And
so many things going on.
Obviously, the Chargers would have lost too. So yeah,
A lot of
not a
moving
good week
parts.
for me.
Yeah.
We're gonna regroup. I don't think I'm gonna throw anything on the game tonight. I don't really like the Colts, and it's not a good game to bet on. So we're gonna come back
Gross.
this next Sunday better and stronger, and hopefully we can get back on the right track.
I hope that I get on the right track of not losing money, and I will, because I am done. I quit. I lost. I'm done. I got up like $300 after the first week. I told myself, okay, I got this money to play with. That money's gone, folks. I'm out. I quit. That's over. Because guess what? I had $40 left in my account with my friend bookie service. And I was like, okay, I'm going to pick. I loved the Titans. The Titans were getting points against the Colts team. This is with Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is now out for the season, but going into this week, the Titans just beat the Bills and the Chiefs back-to-back weeks, arguably the hottest team in the NFL. Fuck the Titans, though, forever, even though they were hot. I will not get off of that train because they lost me money against the Jets earlier in the season. Nevertheless, they do win. The Titans do win against the Colts in overtime. But the second leg of that parlay was Bucks over the Saints in New Orleans. And Tom Brady lost to Trevor Siemian and Jameis Winston by multiple scores. So Bucks frauds. And they cost me $40, and they cost me basically my part of this segment on the show, because I'm out, and I'll just be brooding with you, I guess, for the rest of the season.
It's good to have an ally.
Yeah.
It's also good that you're self-aware that you're not very good and you pull yourself out. That's good to see. I will not quit on you, Two Birds One Stone fans.
If you ran out of money,
my
you would.
bets. Too bad I will never do that because I'm too fucking good at it. I think I've only lost 3 weeks out of this 8 that's been played.
Like you've been saying that for a while. Then
I
you just lost again.
I lost this past week. Then the week before, I lost both my parlays during the day, but then I bet on the night game and I won it all back, plus like $50. So I consider that as a win. I'm doing good. Nonetheless, so I'm not betting on the ones this week. I'll probably put my bets out on Twitter for the games this Sunday. I haven't really done that much, but if you guys want to win some money, AZ Cards G, I think is what my Twitter is. So
remember your Twitter handle, little brother. How are people going to follow if you don't even know your Twitter handle?
They'll find me. Oh, also something that we talked about last week too. I did not reach the 100 followers by Thursday. So my brother's special talent will not be revealed.
And I don't even know what it is.
Unless, I think I'm at like 90 followers right now. If we could get to 107 followers,
you do
by
something.
Sunday,
this has nothing to do with me.
I will reveal Trent's secret talent.
Tune in. I don't even know what it is either, folks. So
the surprise all around.
We'll all be surprised. Trying to think if there's anything else. Rondale Moore had a terrible fucking game.
I forgot about that. He played like junk, drop, punt. What else did he do wrong?
Yep, he had a rookie game. Still makes plays, and I still love him. He's still a little cutie pie. What else? I don't even know. Sorry for the low energy, guys. It's just we haven't had to deal with this yet. Yep. You know, we haven't had a loss to feel like this way, but it happens. And 7-1. Remember what we talked about earlier in an earlier podcast? We said the upcoming schedule, and we were like, I think I even said I would take 5-3 after that stretch. We're sitting at 7-1. So we're cherry. Let's get healthy.
It's still a great day to be a Cardinals fan, my friends.
It's a great season. I mean, this is still one of the best starts in franchise history. So hopes are still up to get to a Super Bowl. I haven't lost that, but I've just come down to reality a little bit. Other teams are very good too. So I don't know. You got anything else?
No, go follow my Twitter at AZCardsG, I think.
Follow him. I'm up to 415. I feel like this week I have posted like hardly anything. And this week I've had more followers than I had in a long time. People just enjoy my silence.
Yeah, they probably do.
Yeah.
I have, let me check, 89 followers. If I can get to 107 by this Sunday, I'll reveal my brother's
Why
special
107?
talent.
Why 7?
Because, bitch, I want it to be.
All right, folks. Say a prayer for Kyler Murray tonight. Let's make sure he plays. While you're at it, throw one in for JJ Watt and DeAndre Hopkins too. And
Also, something to add in, we are going to get back on our Sunday evening schedule of recording. It's kind of been the primetime game kind of threw us off a little bit, but it needs, I feel like we get more engagement and it works better for
we
people.
get many more listens. Like we get double the listens when we put it out on Monday.
I
than
feel
we
like
do any other
yeah.
day.
So we're gonna start putting them out on Monday for sure now. We just had to cope with the loss that
This
occurred
one,
on last
this
Thursday.
episode, if you've lasted this long, you're probably one of 3 people. So shout out to you. So people don't listen.
Shout out,
people
Mom.
do not listen.
Thanks,
if
Mom.
it's what's up, Mama? Shout
Thanks
out
for
Kim.
listening, Mom.
Shout out Lil Kim, son.
Lil Kimmy.
Ayo. All right. Yeah, Niners this weekend in San Francisco. I think it's a pick 'em right now. I'll pick the Cardinals. So there's that. Tell other Cardinals fans if you're listening, give us a try. If we suck, just don't listen to us anymore.
Yes.
That's as easy as that. So we'll talk to you guys Sunday evening. Until then, go Birds.
Peace.